We're in Jacksonville, Florida, at the future home of the Red, White, and Blueberry Farm. I am privileged to interview former Sergeant Adam Burke, the man behind this wonderful project. And how old were you when you enlisted?
I was 17.
What branch of the service were you in?
I was in the Army. I was infantry.
And where was your tour of duty?
Well, my tour of duty, I've been in a few different countries. I was in Iraq for 15 months, but prior to that I've been in Kuwait, Turkey, Bahrain, Qatar, Oman, so I've been all over the Middle East.
And at some point you were injured?
Yes. Yeah.
Where were you when that happened?
I was in a little small city north of Baghdad called Balad, Iraq, and we were out on a movement on a mission, and mortar fire came in and took shrapnel from a mortar.
Okay, and what injuries did you sustain?
I sustained shrapnel to my legs and then to my head. And
part of what you've suffered since returning to the United States is post-traumatic stress?
Traumatic brain injury, post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Laying in Iraq, you made a decision and made a statement, I think out loud, that if you could just survive, you were going to make something out of your life.
I said a prayer to the Lord, and I told him, I said, Lord, if you just get me back home, I promise I will dedicate my life to giving back. And he saw through that I made it back home healthy. I mean, yes, I had some injuries, but you know what? I got 2 strong arms, I got 2 strong legs, and I can work, and that's all I need. Grew up on a farm. I wanted to get away from it. I went to college. I wanted to work in business, but something, it's in your blood. Something kept bringing me back, kept drawing me back to the earlier days of feeling the hot summer sun, the wind blowing, the sprinklers mist. It was just something about it that just kept bringing me back to it. And I knew I fought it for almost 30 years until a couple years ago, and I said, that's what I need to get back into. I must have contacted 1,000 nonprofit organizations, corporates, different people, emailing, phone calling, and it seemed like every email was, no, we can't help you, or that doesn't fit under our mission statement, or you're crazy, we don't really understand what you want to do here. Well, it took about that many phone calls, and finally I got a hold of John Neecratch from Work Vessels for Veterans, and he said, hey buddy, we can make this happen. And I was like, really? I said, that was the most exciting thing. He said, absolutely. And he wanted to know, he said, what would it cost to get 5 or 6 acres just per se? And he was just kind of filling it out. And I gave him a price. Well, he said, well, why don't you go there in Jacksonville and see if you can find a place that we can work with. So me and my wife, we went around looking at different properties. We couldn't find any places, and we finally found this 8 acres out here. And then from there, John and them went out using part of their own money, him and Ted Knapp, and then a part of raising funds through fundraisers to purchase this property that we're at right now, the Veterans Farm.
Okay, so now about the Blueberry Farm. You have the tractor, you have the fence, you have the land, you've got the building that you're going to use for the packing and receiving. What are your goals now?
What we're looking for now is for sponsors to help us to buy the bushes. Maybe it's $20 for a bush set up in the pot. But what we're looking for sponsors to help with the high tunnels, the blueberry bushes. We're looking at just for 5 acres, about 10,000 blueberry bushes. You can put anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000 blueberry bushes per acre. What we have set up here is a 14-week fellowship program for the disabled veterans to come out and work on the farm here. Post 9/11 veterans that have a 0% or more disability will be put in for a fellowship to apply for that. And during that time, they'll not only come out and work on the farm, but they'll actually integrate into society, working with people in the community, business leaders, helping put the word out about what we're doing, helping with fundraisers, because what this whole project is about, reintegrating veterans back into society. During that 14-week program, we'll also teach them how to grow organic berries, organic vegetables. Towards the end of their 14-week fellowship, we connect them with our partner organization called Farmers Veterans Coalition. And what we do is we help them get the loans and the different resources to put their own farm together.
And is it true that as the veterans work here in that 14-week, that with the profits of the jams and the produce that you sell, they will be paid a stipend or something for the work that they do here?
Right. There's a paid stipend in the fellowship program that'll help them with their living expenses as they're going through the program. What we'll do is we'll be selling the different varieties, our signature red, white, and blueberry jams, our blackberry jams, and our strawberry jams. We'll sell those. Also, we'll be selling the fresh berries to commercial markets and also farmers markets and maybe roadside stands as well to raise money to go back into the program.
To get the farm to this point, other than work vessels, are there others you would like to acknowledge that have helped you along the way?
Absolutely. I mean, this has been a team effort all the way. I mean, we couldn't have done it by ourselves. It was just so much work. But we have companies that's been with us from the beginning. Farmers Veterans Coalition, Project Evergreen, Green Care for Troops. They've been a huge support. We've had other volunteers, companies like Luke Brothers Landscaping, Adela Lawn. So it's been a lot of people. Michael Bowen from Michael Bowen's Plumbing and Electric has come out and helped us tremendously. So we've had a lot of different people coming out from various backgrounds giving us a lot of support. These two chairs, one I'm sitting in here now and this one right there beside me, about 2 months ago I get a call from a veteran, and I was out the house, and we live near the beach, and he calls me and he said, Adam, he said, the Wounded Warrior program, they sent me up here to ITT to go back to apply for school. And he says, man, I'm sitting out in the parking lot right now and I'm having a panic attack. I don't know what to do. I have nowhere to go. What do I do? And I told him, I said, man, I says, I'll be at the farm in 45 minutes. I said, I'm heading there now. I said, meet me out there. About 45 minutes later, he came out here and he sat in that chair right there and we just talked. You know, he didn't have another choice. His other choice was to drive to Gainesville under the stress of a panic attack. This was much closer. So we sat there and we talked probably here under this tree for 2 hours. And we got everything off his mind and everything. He needed to feel the breeze and the comfort and the quietness. And he said, Adam, he said, this is the most peace I've felt since I've been back from war. I can sit in a conference room, I can sit in a medical setting and see psychologists all day. He said, but nothing compares to sitting in that chair under this tree on this farm. It's just amazing. And so that's why I leave these two chairs here as a reminder. Sometimes when things are hard for me, or I'm driving all the way across there and it's rush hour and the traffic's bad, and I've come out here and it's hot and we're working, we're dirty, I always leave these chairs here as a reminder, this is why I do this. I do this for them.
Don't ever forget when you see a vet, just walk up and say it.